Alrighty, let's get right into it. I'm testing something, and if there's enough interest in this, we'll see where we take things. This may end up being a daily thing. We may end up doing a channel around this. We may end up doing a series on this. This may go live every day. I'm not entirely sure, but I did want to share one thing. Let me figure out how this is done. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Beautiful. This is the first time I'm going live with this new platform. I'm actually doing this natively within YouTube, so do bear with me. I have a report that is printed every single day and sent to my inbox that has been weeks in the work, and it gives me a whole market update. It gives me an outlook. It gives me any relevant news. It notifies me if there's a massive market change, if there's something I need to know. And I have been, by the way, can you see me and hear me right now? I am traveling. I'm in SoCal. I'm in Laguna Beach right now, and I'm using the Airbnb Wi-Fi. So hopefully you can hear me. Do let me know. Yeah, do let me know if you can. Anywho, I get market updates real time, and I've been using them for quite a while now, and it does help me get clarity on what is happening in the markets and why you can. Awesome. And why the markets are doing what they're doing. It's a massive tool for me that keeps my mind steady and my emotions steady so I don't make questionable decisions. And what I wanted to ask, and I'll show you the report here, is if there would be value in me sharing that report with anyone who wants it for free. Maybe that's exporting it as a PDF and sending it to people, or going live for just 5 minutes every single morning. For the most part, there'd be some days that I'm sure I would miss, depending on if I'm traveling on a plane, whatever, and I could share what's in the update. So I wanted to, first of all, in the comments, do let me know if you find that valuable. If you're live, let me know. If you're watching the replay, make sure you let me know if there's enough interest in this. I can assemble the team and the systems to make that a reality. And again, for 5 minutes every single morning, go live, share the report, share what's happening with not just BTC and not just crypto, but macro news, relevant news. Uh, I also look at like stocks and what's going on in equities, and I just want a what up? I want a holistic look. Again, I'm not a trader. There's a line. I think this is the best way. Yep, awesome. Yeah, do let me know. I think if we had like if it could serve 100 people, then it'd be worth our time and resources to make that happen. I see it as a line. Like if I look at the screen right here, let me back up. I'm in Laguna Beach right now. I was looking at. Let me back up one piece further than that. I think there are three kind of truths that I have built my whole investment thesis on, or three facts, I should say. Now, I'm not telling you what to believe, but here would be the facts to me. And let's break these down. One, that there's more money created every year. Let me know in the comments if you believe that is a fact. I mean, it is, it's factual. I'm not making that up. There is, it's the system we live in. There has to be more to repay debt, or else the system wouldn't work. Like, this is just our monetary system. It's the world we live in. And it's not slowing down anytime soon. So if we know there is more dollars created every year, every month, every decade, then we also know that it dilutes the purchasing power of those dollars. Fact, your dollars are simply worth less. And so the third fact we have to look at is, well, what happens to assets? They go up in value. Now that's not totally true, but they go up in value in relation to what the dollar can buy. And so there's only one outcome. If you're an owner, if you're an asset holder, and again, the measuring, I call it like the measuring stick is skewed. Like, it's the measuring stick that we're measuring our net worths, our financial security, our dollars in the bank, or whatever, is kind of an illusion, because it's always moving. It's not fixed. So with that information, we can only come to one conclusion. I'm just working backwards here. We can only come to one conclusion. You want to be an owner. The system rewards asset holders. If you own assets, you get rewarded. I'll get into that. Actually, that'd be a good idea. I'll get into that in a second. I'm using LP's dollar cost averaging right now. Like that's really the only useful case for LPs right now. I'm dollar cost averaging into assets I want to hold, and I'm earning some cash flow while I do it. I just entered a new BTC position with the floor at 55, and I'm happy to keep buying Bitcoin all the way down to 55. Anyways, but that will only make sense to someone who follows this train of thought that I'm sharing here. So there's more money being created. That money is worth less and less. I would almost start thinking of money as tokens. That was really, really helpful to me. I get paid in tokens. We all work for money, or 99% of us do. We receive these tokens. That way you become less emotionally invested in it. And then what you do with these tokens today will, that's accurate. What you do with these tokens today will dictate how you set yourself up for the future. There's one more piece I want to throw into this little think tank we have here, and then I'll share the report. And I don't want to be the guy who creates fear in some doomsday scenario here. So just hear me out before jumping to conclusions. Throughout history, in the system we live in, free enterprise, capitalism, whatever you want to call it, anyone from any social class, I grew up in a trailer park. Anyone from any situation, anywhere you find yourself in life, you could be bankrupt 5 times over and have a negative credit score, have a minus 800 credit score, have $250,000 in debt, and be living literally on the street. If you can spot an inefficiency in the market and you can make it better, you can make it faster, you can build a product or a service that helps someone, whether that's a brand new idea or you take an old idea and you make it better. By the way, I love that. Like, to me, that's very inspiring. You can make money. That's how fortunes are built. That's how wealth is created for many people. Do we agree with that? There have been, I would say, tens of thousands of opportunities all the freaking time because the market presented inefficiencies. And if you could, well, you could say capitalize, but ultimately, if you could find that gap and create a product or a service and make it better, faster, cheaper, quicker, more efficient, the market rewarded you for it. What what I'm afraid of a bit, and I don't want to put doomsday scenarios here, but what I worry about the most for a lot of people is that those inefficiencies, like AI is accelerating how quickly those inefficiencies are being had. So I'm not even thinking AI in terms of like, oh, it's just going to take jobs away because it is at a very fast pace. It's also that it can find these inefficiencies and the people behind it. So good operators and people who know how to use it can find these inefficiencies and solve for them much quicker than humans can. Let's take a beat there. That should scare you. So not just AI replacing a lot of jobs, not just universal basic income, which I do believe is coming, and not just the fact that there's always opportunity. I truly believe there's always opportunity, but that opportunity is being kind of, I don't know, squished out. It's not a very technical term, but I'll use it. What am I getting at? And again, I don't want to share fear. I want to create healthy urgency. I genuinely believe I saw this 10 years ago and I was like, damn, I better get on the ownership side. If there's a line, it's people who work for income right here. They work for income, and that's that. And then on this side of the line is people who trade that income for assets. They are accumulating assets for the long term. I'm sharing all this to make a point, 2 points. A, get on that freaking line. Who here is getting on the ownership line? They're prioritizing, hey, I want to get into ownership. I want to be an owner. We have to be owners. The you are securing your future by being an owner. If you are not a owner, that gap keeps widening It's getting harder and harder to own assets because the money is worth less and less. It's that simple. A lot of people are going to find themselves in 5 years priced out of. That's semi true because there is now fractionalized. I mean, you can buy a piece of New York real estate for $10 now, which is cool. It doesn't move the needle forward. You want to position yourself as an owner now. I'm getting at all this for a few reasons. A, healthy urgency to become an owner. Bam, done. Move now. I don't know what to buy. Got it. Take 10 bucks and just get into the pattern of it. We're talking equities, we're talking stocks, I'm a Bitcoin crypto DeFi guy, but I'm not even making this video about that. I don't care what you own. I buy cars and I'm starting to collect cars, but I got one car, it's worth $30,000 more. It's a 30% increase. I got offered 30% more than I paid for it. It's nothing crazy fancy. It's a classic Porsche 911. Then I got offered 30% more for it in a year and a half, and I don't want to make that up. Maybe 2 years now. I don't know. Anyways, not that long. Did I put $30,000 into that car? No. In fact, I put almost nothing, maybe some little upgrades I did and some sweat equity into it, but definitely not $30,000 worth. Just money buys less. Now, remember, there's some supply and demand as well. So I'm looking at not looking. I'm not looking to buy. I was just looking because when I travel, I look at real estate. I'm in Laguna Beach and I was looking at some oceanfront property and I was blown away at the valuation of them, like what they're selling for. Like I'm talking millions of dollars for like a freaking studio apartment. And then I look back at history and I'm like, oh, got it. It's 15x returns if you would have bought it 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 25 years ago. A lot of that is the dollar is just worth a lot less. And then, of course, baked into that is some supply and demand. They can't build into the ocean. There's only so much real estate along this PCH here in Laguna, and it's a beautiful place, and more people want to live here, and so the value goes up. If less and less people wanted to live here, then the value would go down. So again, it's not just that assets are appreciating because dollars are worth less and less, but that's a big piece of it. Final point, just to keep myself on track here. I'm talking about way more than I wanted to, but I can't help myself. I hope this is helping. Let me know if it is. You want to be an owner. Dollars are worth less and less. Get on the right side of that line. So I guess this side or whatever, but become an owner. Don't just earn income and then spend that income. If you're like, well, I can't afford it, or I don't have money, or I don't know what to buy, take $10 and just start with that. Literally, with $10, you could own some stocks, you could own some Bitcoin, and you could own some fractional real estate for 10 bucks. Like, get into the habit of doing it. Is $10 going to change your life? No, but it gets you in the habit. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, jump into it. Hey, what's up? Say hello. Actually, where is everyone from? This is kind of an impromptu live. My question here, now that we have more than 5 people, we got 42 y'alls in here. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. If I started going live, I can't promise every day, but almost every day. There's some days where I'm traveling and I just wouldn't make it happen, even if it's for 5 minutes. And I shared a market outlook. I've I've been working on creating. I basically I have a awesome agent that talks to me every single morning. I get a report at 8 a.m. It grabs all the market news. It grabs everything I need to know. It puts it into a report, and in 2 minutes I read a report and I have clarity on what is happening in the markets that day. I'm not a trader, but it helps me from making stupid decisions and it adds some clarity as to why markets are reacting the way they are. I get that report on my desk at 8 a.m. every single day. I've been tweaking it to make it something that I could not live without at this point. And I was like, well, why don't I just share it for free? So there's two options. Either we could go live every day, I could share that report, we could share some awesome value, and we could just do a quick market report, 5 minutes max, or I could probably build a system to just share the PDF of it to the people who want it. So let me know if you'd find it valuable. Let me see how I share my screen here. I'm going live natively. This is just a last minute idea. I'm like, let me just hit live and share. Okay, there we go. Report looks something like this. Let me know if you can you see my screen? You should be able to see a big, endless pit of YouTube something. Let me know if you can see it before I exit the screen because I won't be able to see y'all. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. It looks it looks something like this. I call it my UIG. Well, I'll show you the report I had this morning. This was the report that I had this morning. Um, I get a bit of a macro look at what is happening, what's moving, where's capital rotating to, what's happening with liquidity, where is it exiting, where it is entering, happening. I like to just get a glimpse at that. Then I like to look at crypto, especially Bitcoin. At the moment, Bitcoin was 97. The advice that was given to me this morning was, dude, don't catch a falling knife, hang out. Of course, I'm using LP, so dollar cost averaging, but it said, hey, wait a bit, see if we keep bouncing off this level. If we don't, then we could be seeing 60, 58, 55. It's why I set my LP to 50K, so I don't mind buying all the way down if that's what we see. Again, I'm a long-term investor. I don't worry about the short-term stuff, but if I can get a deal, I'll get a deal. We look at retail, and then I like to just have a quick little peek at ETH and and see what's going on ETH. I do like to look at what is stocks because I do invest in equities. So I like to have a little peek at both the US and the Canadian. I do like to have a glimpse at metals. I'm not a massive investor in metals, although I do have exposure to it. But it's on the radar and I check it out. And then I have a piece that is a bit more of a long term snapshot. It keeps me level headed. So, whales do not look at current price, they look at unit count. I want to own more Bitcoin, and cycle support. Um, I don't I don't worry about the short-term noise. Um, I remember when Bitcoin hit 80 and I'm like, "Damn, I don't know if I'll see 70s again. I don't know if I'll hit 60s." I remember buying Bitcoin here a little while ago at the 20K, and I was like, "Dude, it may go lower." Everyone thought it would go lower. The the point is you want to accumulate assets and you want to look at unit count. How many units of said asset do you hold? Short-term price you can't control. There's also a massive, don't forget, there's a massive wealth transfer happening where I don't know the exact number. This is saying 124 trillion. I have seen a bunch of different numbers and a bunch of different stats, rotation in business, business ownership, assets moving from one generation to the next, and this generation being much more digitally savvy, crypto savvy. You know, where is that money going to move to? Um, it's also why I bet on the digital ecosystem. Um, so anyhow, that's that, and then I get a bit of an outlook. It's basically what the report looks like. Sometimes I condense it, sometimes make it bigger, but there's a report. I have two versions of it. That's the simplified version of it, and then I also have a longer version of it that takes me about 3 minutes to read, and it dives into about a dozen news sources that feed me information. Question, and I'll wrap it up here. If I shared this daily, did a little chat, not trading, I want to be clear on that. I'm not that guy. I'm not your guy. If you're looking for, I need to make a trade today, I will be able to deliver zero value from you. I am not a great trader. Don't pretend to be, don't want to be, don't care to be. I am a asset accumulator. I'm an owner. I want to own assets. I do have a report, a business report as well. It's more so for tech and AI and how that's disrupting a lot of business and how to think about it. I could blend all those reports together and maybe we could start doing this on a daily basis. So if there would be interest in that, uh, do do let me know. I could see a 55, 58, between 50 to 60 BTC, and it doesn't worry me at all. We were talking, or I posted in the UIG today about the LP to DCA in. Great strategy. Uh, we talk a lot about LPs and ensuring that the underlying assets are things that you would hold for a long period of time, not meme coins, not crap coins. Making sure that Warren Buffett's rule, which when I started studying investing, this was like my North Star holy grail that I have built. Everything that I try and build, I build off of this. If I wouldn't hold it for 10 years, I wouldn't hold it for 10 minutes. If you wouldn't hold it for 10 years, you are let me use a kind word. You're gambling. Let's just put it that way. You're gambling, you're trading. And that's being generous. Um, have you done the research? Now, I'm not saying you just blindly hold it for 10 years and you no matter what, you're just gonna hold it, white knuckle it. Maybe there's gonna be some new information that changes your mind. That's fair. But if me personally, if I wouldn't hold Bitcoin for 10 years, I wouldn't own a single dollar of it. It removes all the how could I say it? It removes all the emotional tension and stress from moments like this. Cool. I think there's enough interest in it. Maybe we'll try it. I think I have a quick little gap tomorrow early morning. I am traveling for the next little while, but I'll make it happen, even if it's just hitting live on YouTube. I don't have a professional mic on or anything like that. I was originally using this, but it's not working the way I wanted it to. But I'd be happy to do so, and we can have a look at the markets and have a look at what's happening, and maybe just share what my intention with it would be. Would just be to share, like you maybe when you're behind on your computer by yourself, you can make questionable decisions. But when you're just like, oh wait, okay, like bring some calm into the chaos. Cool. Appreciate y'all. We'll try this again tomorrow, and maybe we'll find a rhythm with it. And if it works and if it gives value, we'll keep doing it. And if it doesn't, we'll stop doing it. Appreciate y'all's. With that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I do have a call to get to, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm gonna try to make these every single day at 8 a.m. p.m. PST. Can't always guarantee that time, but that's gonna be the time I shoot for. So, and once I'm back in the office, we'll probably start scheduling them out so you can actually see the schedule. We'll see what we can do. Appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Accumulate assets. Be an owner. Get on the right side of that line. And with that said, I'll see you soon.